Now the next presentation is Kid Sankirtan by Her Grace Kamesvari Devi Dasi. Kamesvari is actually been doing Sankirtan for more than a decade now, and then she has been instrumental in increasing the Kid Sankirtan to where it is now. I think they started only with like 10% of the goal initially when we started Kid Sankirtan, and I think now they do like more than 50% of our goals in the ISV MSF program. And she has developed some systems carefully on how we can increase the Kid Sankirtan everywhere. And she's been teaching not just at ISV, but she's also expanding herself. She's teaching to devotees in London and in Naperville. She already gave you a seminar on Kid Sankirtan, and many more to come. So she is the best resource if you would like to know anything about Kid Sankirtan. And personally also she does so many services at the temple, like cooking. She's a pujari, she dresses the deities, paints and everything. So please welcome Kamesvari Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna to all the devotees. I'm sitting here on behalf of all the parents. Actually, I'm not very comfortable with this. I'm gonna hold this. I'm sitting here on behalf of all the parents that are doing Kid Sankirtan here at ISV. And everything that has been done and whatever results you're seeing, any of the parents, if you talk, actually, they will be able to share that. I'm just, kind of representing all the kids and parents here. So we have Kids Sankirtan started for quite a few years over here, and I'm going to go through the slides very quickly. After this presentation, because I'll be there to discuss with everybody if at all, if you have any questions anymore. So go through the slides, and then kids will also be speaking today their realizations. So some of them have come forward that they want to speak, and then the volunteers kids will come and they share. And then last 10 minutes we'll have for question and answers. So this is a beautiful picture from Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj is so compassionately sharing Krishna consciousness with his classmates. When we go out on Sankirtan, on Kid Sankirtan, we start with a Nrsinga prayer. We come together in a circle and we pray to Lord Nrsingadev, the full Nrsinga prayer, and pray to him for protection. We have especially kids with us, and he is the one who protected Prahlad Maharaj. So that's how it begins. So I just wanted to share that. So Srila Prabhupada has himself, when he's personally present in his books and when he was on the planet, he's given everything that a human being would ever need to live a happy life, and we want to pass it on to our children because they are the one who will carry on the mission. And in same mode, we are sharing this book distribution. We are making them part of book distribution in the same mode because they are the future. And Srila Prabhupada said we have to give topmost standards to children while they are growing up. And Topmost Standard means the culture of Vaishnavism, to make them devotees of Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, in his own childhood, his father was a pure Vaishnava, and he taught him deity worship, and he trained him in Mridanga and how to become a Krishna's devotee. So Srila Prabhupada shares so many memories, and Srila Prabhupada says that we should share. That is how actually a parent should, that's the role of a parent, to give, we want to give best of the things to our children, and the best standard is to, bring them closer to Krishna. Here at ISV, we started Kids Sankirtan. When Sukeshwari is our head of Sunday school, and she wanted to involve children in distributing books, and it became part of the Sunday school when we used to go on Sunday. So we already had like-minded, because we are in the devotee setting, there is already a like-minded people. We just introduced the program that we want to go out. Vaisheshika Prabhu is, spearheading book distribution, was picking up. So we involved children in book distribution as a part of Sunday school, where on Sundays they would go out and come back and just once a month and just go for an hour and come back by Aratik time. So, but building a team, really, I would say that when we are looking at starting Kids Sankirtan in different places, actually you see in a prayerful mood, let it happen organically. It should be, Vaisheshika Prabhu says, it should be a pull and not a push. So building a team really happens with the inspiration, when all the devotees see kids are doing very nicely, and they share their stories. Actually, that's what inspires, more devotees to join. So that would be the mood for, building a team, I would say. And when we are interacting with all the children and the parents, actually the mood is, we should set that this was all began, of course Lord Chaitanya has started the Sankirtan part, and we are only, they had a very wonderful team we already know of, and then we are only following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. And for our children, the mood for Sankirtan actually is of compassion, and Prahlad Maharaj is a role model, and we have so many role models. But Prahlad Maharaj specifically, because he was a child in such a young age, he was doing preaching, and his mood, his prayer to Nrsingadev was, he was saying that he's more worried about the people outside who are, not in Krishna consciousness, and he's praying for them. That is the, mood of compassion. And as we are going out regularly, actually we talk to children. Everybody has, because you're all sitting here are Vaishnavas, you're all, sharing with this knowledge, all these scriptures with your children. So that mood is already there, but we can connect that, this is how Prahlad Maharaj actually thought, and this is the mood of Sankirtan. This is Vaisheshika Prabhu showing kids how to, we have how to do book distribution. We have there Srivatsa and Yash and Kanaya, and it's a beautiful picture. This was right next to our old temple in Bascom. Vaisheshika Prabhu personally took the kids and showed them, and Kanaya is actually showing Bhagavad Gita. So that's where we started. So we can show them. Actually, the training part, I would say, you don't really, have to grab the children and show them this is how it works. If they are around you while you're doing book distribution, let them learn naturally. And but to put the process together, you can actually just, show some format, a structure, that this is what you put the lines. This Vaisheshika Prabhu yesterday, presented a Bhagavad Gita presentation. We just same presentation, but for younger children, we do a small presentation. Just share some lines for them that how this is how you present Bhagavad Gita, and if they know some few shlokas, they can share for young children. We use flip chart. I have one flip chart over here, and if somebody wants, you can go through it. We can pass it around. This was prepared by Harivamsha Prabhu, one of our devotees. He put together it. It's very, very beautifully done. and it helps distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, glorify Srimad Bhagavatam, and we have shared this with, the soft copy I can share with we can share with all the devotees who are interested. You can print and make it a flip chart. This is the tool to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. And Vaisheshika Prabhu has given a very nice seminar on how to present this one, and those links are there. And Verse on the Go was a very old program that we used to follow, and you can write a verse. This is like a part of sadhana, but a very jovial mode, not very strictly. We carry some cards, write the shlokas, and when you see you distribute amongst the kids, and then you can chant when you see an opportunity. We used to do this regularly. Sometimes we don't carry, and sometimes but we really want this to be consistent. We would need to put more effort that we do this consistently, because this is a very good program. When a verse is sent out, many times Malini also shares a verse, and sometimes we choose a verse and share with devotees, and everybody make a note, or I myself personally with the help of kids give them a verse. They write down a certain number of cards and then distribute among kids, carry in the pocket, and then at any interval during book distribution you just say, can you pull your card, let's practice this. You can do that. That's very good way of meditating on the Lord through all these prayers. Sincere efforts is what this is all the points I'm bringing up, what we actually discuss with children. On book distribution at this young age, they can really, they're very sensitive, they're young, and book distribution can mean some people accept, some people reject. We cannot have everybody taking the books. So we have to actually discuss with children. It is that the sincere efforts is all matters, and people take the books or not, actually it's all Krishna's hands. So, setting the mood. There are some do's and don'ts for children. So, we always encourage them in such a way. We tell them specifically that actually wait for a turn, because otherwise we have learned from experience actually. Of course, those who have kids, they know when kids come together, everybody wants to speak. They want to be first, and nobody wants to take my turn, it's my turn, and all those things can happen. But everybody should take a turn. We should make a point that everybody takes a turn, and then also allow others to speak, working as a team. So, and Vaisheshika Prabhu mentioned this, especially if kids, tend to do this. If somebody doesn't take a book, run after them. Vaisheshika Prabhu mentioned this, we should not follow them and, stay where you are, just say hi from there. People ask questions about Lakshmi. These are some basic points that children should know, when they go out. So that's what I listed. So what do you do with the Lakshmi that you receive? And you should know that actually this is going to print more books. And actually in the flip chart we have more beneficiaries. Goes for Food for Life. It's going for building the TOVP. We are going for the Lakshmi goes of hospice, and a lot of beneficiaries are there. So we can actually let them be aware of these beneficiaries that you can mention. And kids should never be left alone. They're very enthusiastic, and they suddenly they just make a team and they want to go by themselves and do And one time I remember Madhav and there was one more child, one more kid, and they just we couldn't find them for some time, and we were so worried what happened, because we were keeping an eye, but just takes a moment for them to, if you don't see them, they just, and then Madhav, we looked around, and we found actually, we started calling them out, and then we saw them coming downstairs. They went to the next floor already by themselves. And then we were so much in anxiety. Then I asked him, where did you go and who was with you? Then he said, we just went by ourselves. And then you said, what were you doing? Then he gave me some bunch of Lakshmi. We were distributing books. Then I felt, of course I felt like, immediately I felt so much appreciation that, the mood is that they want to do the book distribution, but of course we have to keep it, make the point that you please don't go by yourself, you know. Not everybody you knock the door. I mean, you cannot, we are responsible, we are liable when we are taking children out. We have to be very careful. When children are old enough, that's a different story, but you know, we have to be careful. And contribute when there is a window. So when you go in a group, even just as adults also, you know, there should be a sync and a rhythm in the discussion, that you just respect each other's points, and we should make sure the children understand this. You know, we should not cut off anybody's point. If somebody talks, we should talk to support the point, or you know, or help somebody is trying to remember. Like, so these are the things we can discuss when we are actually talking with them before going book distribution. For parents also, there is do's and don'ts, and kids will be very happy to if I'm saying this, because you know, they come with a lot of complaints that no, parents are taking out the conversation and we are not getting to speak. We have had a very, you know, lot of ongoing discussions on this. And so we should let the children present by themselves. We should empower them when we see this spark that they want to do it. And so let them make the whole presentation, let them conclude the presentation. They will look at you, they will turn around to see for a help. We should take a clue from that and not speak in between. It's very, very important. So they should, you know, as a child, they want to make a meaningful contribution. It is a human nature, and it is present so much when we are child, because we are not so much conditioned yet by the, you know, outside world, very natural and very enthusiastic. If you see a spark, actually we should empower them and let them do the service, especially the presentation of the book. Let them make the presentation, conclude it, and then just help them when you need to, and empower them this way. Coordination in multiple teams. It is very important part of the Kids Sankirtan, because when bunch of kids come together along with the parents, actually it can be a chaos. You know, it can really become challenge to engage everybody. You know, we have seen such situation, you know, so many 35-40 devotees come together, and kids can really just get distracted and not engage. Not everybody is engaged in book distribution. So it's very, very important that you make the teams and, you know, such a way that everybody has the service, everybody is engaged nicely, and not just, you know, everybody is wasting time. It just happens that sometimes kids get bored, sometimes they start playing, and it's okay, it's fun part, but we should remember, we should keep in mind and coordinate and organize such a way that there is a meaningful engagement and service for everybody. While on Kids Sankirtan, we should always be very aware of their kids, their thought process, and you know, and respond to them whenever they come up with any concerns. Read with them regularly, which, being devotees, I'm sure everybody is doing so much already. And goals. Kids started with 10% goal, and they are asking, actually they are definitely as a team doing more than 10%, and they are asking that 10% is just a number now, you know, we are always doing more, we always smash it anyway. They want to put this number at a higher, bigger number. And also there could be, there have been a lot of discussions about how much kids have participated, how much parents have participated. And it's really becomes complicated if you really want to separate what kids have done. And so, you know, we should always encourage amongst the kids that, you know, kids and parents together make the team. And as they grow up, you know, it's really evolving at ISV, and you will hear from kids more about that, how their team is working. So these are some statistics I put together. If you just look at this is the table at the bottom. 2017 Bhagavad Gitas were 457, and 42 Bhagavatams for the marathon were distributed by Kids and Parents team. And I just put some statistics from 2014 to 17 in terms of Lakshmi book points and Bhagavad Gitas. So, you know, if anybody interested, you can just, this is just for our knowledge. I had put it together. And divide by age group. While going out, young kids can do small books and Bhagavad Gita. They like fast pace. You make a few minutes presentation and then it keeps them engaged. Older kids can do Bhagavatam because Bhagavatam it takes a longer discussions. But many times they get mixed together. They can learn from each other, so that is also fine. When you're starting a team, you cannot really have a small team, small kids and probably older kids team separately. You can start together. That's fine, and and grow slowly. Location is very important. Always take the children where you know what to expect, because you're taking young children, and the environment we want to make sure it's safe. Door-to-door works very nicely. We always went to apartments where they get to play, and we are also doing single family homes now. It is working very nicely. It's just because on the streets there is a lot of traffic, of course, so it's a common thing that we know. So door to door for more younger children, it works very nicely. Festivals are very, very nice. They meet with a lot of people from different walks of life, and Western Sankirtan team is of course doing that. So for kids also enjoy that. Those are actually festivals are very, very family friendly. Lot of festivals there. It's very good opportunity for the children. And we always should encourage and appreciate them with gifts and some celebrations. And snacks is a very important part of book distribution. And for kids book distribution, there's only kids picture here, but actually parents enjoy equally the snacks. So they do play, of course, and that keeps them going. Vaisheshika Prabhu mentions that going out on book distribution makes the kids street smarts, and because of they actually dealing with the real people and their real scenarios. They share what is their experience. Sometimes people say, I don't have a job. Sometimes people are going through some situations. Sometimes people are very nice and really good mood. So it gives them an experience. Accounting, they count the Lakshmi, and team building among themselves. They look forward to book distribute with each other. There's a huge potential in terms of expanding Sankirtan through Kids Sankirtan, because when kids show up, Vaisheshika Prabhu say, when kids show up, they don't come alone. They bring along their family, so the whole family gets involved. There's an abundant opportunity, and Kids Sankirtan can be implemented actually anywhere where we have families and kids. And this morning, early in the morning, I received a text from Vrindarika Mataji in London, and for Nashinga Chaturdashi they have gone out, and she said now the weather has become warm all throughout the marathon, and for Lord Chaitanya she sent the pictures. Everything was snow, and now she was so happy that the sun is showing, and then we have gone out, and she was sharing an experience that at one door the kids went and presented Bhagavad Gita, and the person was so inspired by the kids presentation that he said, I would like to sponsor a set of Srimad Bhagavatam. So she was sharing that just because kids left a nice impression, and that made him, they were wondering what happened to him, how suddenly he so Mataji was sharing that, leaving a good impression actually, inspired the person to think about that. So it's growing, and because children are innocent, actually their presentation is very charming, and it attracts people, and it actually changes their heart, So that in that way, Kids Sankirtan is very, very appealing to people when they go out and present. So please involve them and give them this opportunity. So thank you. And we have now, how much time do we have? We have 5 minutes only. Okay. So we have Shivatsa and Monisha and Advait. They are going to speak little bit about their experiences, and I'll request them to come over here. They have been doing book distribution from a very young age, and We'll hear from them. I more wanted to. Please. Shivatsa.
So when all of us were very young, Vaishishkaro took us on our first Sankirtan outing, and he took us to the, as Mataji was saying, to the neighborhood near our old temple, and we were able to see firsthand how he was able to do books. And the good thing about kids' book distribution is that from when you introduce it to children, children are able to take in Krishna consciousness as well as the book distribution aspect of it. So we're trained in how to chant better rounds and how to be a better devotee, as well as giving Prabhupada's works to everyone else in the world, because that's also very important. Book distribution has helped establish very, very important principles that we see throughout everyone's life, because it's able to establish organization. Like with the children today, right now, we have a thing called TIC, Team of ISV Kids, in which the kids themselves set their own goals. We organize everything, we have our own roles, and every MSF we also present our own report, because now the kids are starting to become more and more independent, and that shows that when the kids become adults, the book distribution is also going to be very, very, very strong, because then there won't have to be extra effort to train the kids again, because the kids are already trained and they already know what they're doing. And in that way, everyone can find out about Prabhupada's books, and it could spread much, much more fast.
Okay. Hare Krishna. I want to thank Kamesvari Mataji and everyone here for coming here and taking your time. Book distribution has always had a huge influence on me. I think books, I always enjoy doing books. It's a fun experience whenever I go with kids. Book distribution has taught me how to be more acceptant and compassionate and tolerant, because there's so many people in this world that need this knowledge and the spiritual knowledge, and they're not able to cherish it. So I think it's always important that we keep trying, even though it might get frustrating that they're not taking the book. One memory that led to a realization was when I went on books. I was giving up books, and books were going, and I wanted to get some Lakshmi, but I was only getting small coins. And my mind was just like, I want Lakshmi, I want to get some Lakshmi to fill in all the books that I'm giving up, because I've given out so many books, but I've only got like 3 pennies. And then later on, I happened to meet one man who came up to me, and we were talking. It was like it wasn't brief, we were talking for half an hour, and he was kind of sharing his realization, and he was also kind of arguing with me at the same time. And it's also a natural instinct to argue back, but I didn't argue, and he appreciated that, and he gave a $100 donation. So. I think something that I have learned from that is at the right time, right place, Krishna will send someone ripe, very ripe, and they will cherish the knowledge and they will give something back. And our mentality should be to give more than receiving, because we have almost everything at our temple. We have prasadam, we have we have friends, it's like our family, but they are trying to find happiness and they're not able to find it. So when we give books, we should be able to give it with our hearts. And I think book distribution has no age requirement, and there's no age limit, so any kid can do it, any little kid. And like Mataji was mentioning earlier, that with their charm, they can get so much done. So it's always a fun experience. So.
Well, my name is Advaita, and I want to I thank my mom for letting me speak today. And And so book distribution has helped me in so many ways, both spiritually and in my material life. And so spiritually it helps me do sadhana because like if I don't read books but I tell other people to read the books, I don't feel very good of myself. So it empowers me to like do more, read more, chant more. And another way it helps me materially is like when I have like new friends or like a new teacher, new school. It helps me socialize with them because after all, like I go every week talking to people I don't even know, and so helps. Book distribution helps me in so many ways. And so a few things I like about book distribution is it's a place where you can have fun and do service at the same time with their friends, which is nice. And another thing is it makes me feel like I'm actually part of Gauranga's army. It makes me feel like I'm doing something good for the world instead of sitting down and on the couch or something. And so, and and the best part, the absolute best part of book distribution is counting the Lakshmi at the end, because Vishishika Prabhu always says like dollars don't lie, and it keeps track of how hard you've worked throughout the day. And so one realization I have from book distribution is a story from it is that like once I was doing books on Harinam and I was doing really good, talked to so many people, I distributed so many books, so much Lakshmi. But then on book distribution in SFO and San Francisco, I was not doing very well. I was really discouraged. And my mom kept saying, you can't be discouraged, people will come, all you have to do is talk. But then from those two experiences, I realized that it's all Krishna doing this. We're just his instruments in spreading his knowledge. It's not us doing the book distribution. It's Krishna. So for book distribution, and then you have to remain really humble. And yeah, it's really nice and humbling to meet so many other people too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shivatsa, Monisha and Advait. So Malini, I want to check if we can take questions now, or I can actually personally take questions later. We can.
We can take one question maybe, but Kamesvari will be available for any of the questions you have, which you can ask her. The reason is because it's 10:30 now. We want to go to Motel Gita door to door, and we wanted to go to Smart Box Sankirtan. So that's why we are trying to keep our presentations quick so that we can come back in time for Sunday feast lecture. But if you have one question, we can take now. Mataji has one.
Thank you, Mataji, for your second presentation that we are hearing. One was online and now again. And thank you, everybody, Srivatsa, Monisha, and Advait. It was very nice meeting you. Just one question is that, do parents have to always accompany the kids, or if we have enough adults, can we just take the kids and go? What is your thought process on that?
So for young children, it is always, we should make sure that the parents are there. When they are old enough, actually, they could go with an adult. And I would suggest that should be the practice. I mean, unless you're really very close and you know the family very nicely, then maybe you can consider taking a young children. It really depends on the situation. But in general, young children should be always accompanied with the parent. Remember that you are organizing this, you are actually taking responsibility, you are liable. So, yeah.
Just also wanted to share that we've been thinking about this for 2 years. It never happened. And after your first presentation online, we did go out with almost like 10 kids. Most of them are probably like at least 11 and under. Only one kid was 12. And that day, we didn't speak at all. Everything they spoke. And they distributed 56 books just within like maybe 1.5 hour frame. So I was very happy.
Thank you so much for sharing, Mataji. Thank you so much for taking the initiative.
Congratulations, Mataji. Thank you.
It's a big team of adults. It's not me. I just shared. I just happened to share.
Thank you for sharing. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Kamesvari. Thank you, Srivatsa. Thank you, Advaita. And thank you, Monisha. One more thing to share was yesterday, door-to-door book distribution, all these kids came and they said that we just want to do ourselves. We don't want any guidance from any adult. And then we sent the kids alone with one adult, just watching them, not doing anything, not even one word to speak. They went and they distributed a set of Srimad Bhagavatam all by themselves. And the unfortunate thing was we were not able to witness what they did because they didn't want us to be around. But hopefully they'll write in their GNAB sometime and then they'll let us know what they did. The person was so impressed with the kids. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kameshwari, for training them to become independent on their own.